Hello ladies and gentlemen, this video will be for you for year 2025, analysis of your ascendant from sidereal and also from tropical modern astrology perspective. So for example, if you would have ascendant sidereal ascendant Aries, your tropical ascendant will be Taurus. If you don't know at what time you were born, then you apply the moon sign. So it would be moon in Aries. Sidereal astrology would correspond to moon in Taurus, tropical modern astrology. So this will be how I will be looking at the 12 ascendants. Also, why we look at the ascendants? Because this, according to the ancients, very ancient tradition, the Ascendant is the house of life. This is more important even than the lunar sign or than the solar sign. So we derive the horoscope first from your rising sign, from your ascendant. So this is how I will be looking at your ascendant and your future year 2025. And of course, what I will do is I will be looking at the most important transits. They are so very important for year 2025. And of course, we'll be looking at the eclipses. They are also very, very important because in year 2025, the lunar nodes change positions and also with themselves, they take the eclipses. Also, we're looking at a major conjunction of trans-Saturn planets and so on. So this will be a general analysis of your future for 2025. If you want to have very specific, very detailed reading with me, which will include primary directions, which will include the method of Time Lords techniques, which will include progressed horoscopes and solar revolution, then you may like to book a personal reading with me. And for year 2025, you can find a reading with a discount, which is valid for the month of December and also January. So if you want to have discounted reading, detailed analysis of your future and of your natal horoscope, you may book such reading with me. So let's hear now your ascendant, description of your ascendant and the future of 2025 for you. Hello ladies and gentlemen, with sidereal ascendant Taurus, sidereal or moon in Taurus, rising sign, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be Gemini. Now for you, the year will be of course very interesting. You already feel it, and this is because on 18th of June of 2024, Uranus left Aries, which is your 12th house, and entered your rising sign, your ascendant. So Uranus will be 7 years in Taurus, and I made a detailed video on Uranus in Taurus, when we know that Uranus is the lord of change and a very spiritual lord who actually is illustrating the divine mind, divine wisdom. We already know that this will be amazing experience for you also in the year 2025. Also, as we speak now, Jupiter is also on your ascendant. Jupiter will leave your ascendant on 19th of May of 2025. He will leave your ascendant and will enter your second house, Gemini. So until 19th of May, you will have two amazing planetary lords. This is Uranus and Jupiter. They form conjunction of change and many opportunities, also financial, by the way. So Uranus is the lord of change, and you already are experiencing amazing change process related to your perceptions, to your goals, to your everything. Also career-wise, certainly Uranus is very important for you because he's ruling your 10th house. So many changes he will represent. I also want to you see, to a bit speak about his influence on your 7th house, because Uranus, while he will be on your ascendant, he will make opposition to your 7th house. Probably you know, in astrology the 7th house is the house of marriage, relationships, also agreements, also business entrepreneurship, for example. It would say that when he makes opposition to these areas of your life, changes there are also possible. Therefore, in romantic sense, in your private life, you may need to be diplomatic, you may need to be more intuitive, forgiving maybe, and also careful when it comes to agreements, new businesses, because Uranus on your ascendant makes aspect to the 7th house, and he can mean many changes in the areas which I just mentioned to you. Another very important situation, of course, is Saturn. Saturn now, as we speak, is on your midheaven, and as we speak, he's forming a square to Uranus on your ascendant and to Jupiter, and this automatically is a recipe for change, especially related to your occupation, highest goals. On 6th of April, Saturn is leaving your 10th house. And it will be very interesting, because when he leaves, he will be invisible, and you will feel the change more after 30th of April, because then Saturn, so he enters your 11th house on 6th of April, but he will be invisible, so you will not feel so much his presence. But on 30th of April, he's becoming visible for the first time. So invisible planet works more on subtle levels. You will not really feel very strongly the presence of Saturn in Pisces. So on the 30th of April, you will start noticing the changes that he would mean. So let's see what is happening. On the 30th of April, Saturn will be conjoining Venus, conjoining Neptune and Mercury in your 11th house. So he will become visible for the first time on your 11th house on 30 April. This way he is also not going to be squaring anymore your ascendant and Uranus there, but he will be sextiling, and this is harmonious aspect. This seems to be better than a square. This will be very important for your money gains, because 11th house is representing the money which we generate from our work. 11th house is the house of your social circle. This is the house of your connections. This is the house of your children. So when Saturn rises for the first time in Pisces, he will have to fulfill the karma for the whole year 2025 and for the next 3 years for your 11th house, Saturn in Pisces. Saturn in Pisces is not very benevolent. In Pisces, he is peregrine. This means that he will be, the change that he will bring in your 11th house may be a little bit like, I want to give you example, like not always very direct, for example, because the Piscean energy can be very delicate, but can also be mysterious, can also be very subtle, can also be, you see, a little bit, can work as, you see it as like something that will be happening behind the scenes, then we suddenly find out about this. So you see, on 6th of April, Saturn is entering your 11th house. He will be working delicately on the changes related to gains, connections, and then you find out once he becomes visible, and it will be like some storm in the ocean, a little bit type of thing, because of the energy of Pisces, and because of this big conjunction involving Venus, your ascendant ruler, involving Neptune, involving Mercury. So it will be important. Of course, we cannot only analyze the horoscope based on transits. We need to see directions, which planetary ruler is ruling your life for the time being. But already as transits, this indicates important change for you, and also means that you may need to be quite attentive also with your children. Try to understand them, try to speak openly, try to be diplomatic with them, because like I told you, this energy of Saturn in Pisces is very, very specific. So before I continue with Saturn, I want to talk a little bit about Mars, simply because I'm trying to follow some timeline here, because now we are already in June, but I want to go back to January and to give you some small indication on the transit of Mars for you. In your horoscope, let's start already with January. In January, Mars will be in your 3rd house. He will be detriment. Mars in your horoscope is ruling your 7th house, relationships mainly, 12th house, which is about hidden enemies, which is about your mission, if you want, the karma that you have to pay. And Saturn in your 3rd house in January, and not only in January, he will be back and forth until 7th of April. Back and forth, of course. At a certain point, he will be entering back Gemini, but until 7th of April, he will be in Cancer. And when we know that he rules these two areas of your life, which is the 7th house and the 12th house, it means he's a little bit not very much supporting relationships and not so much supporting health, and he's a little bit, you need to be careful also for hidden enemies, and I will give you details and timelines. So on 17th, 16th, from 7th to 16th of January, the retrograding already Mars will be in one heliacal phase, which is called acronical rise, and which phase is a little bit difficult. He doesn't like to be in this phase, Mars in a chronicle rise. So during this time period, you may need to be a little bit more responsible for your health. If you have to travel, maybe you have to avoid it, or at least be very careful how you travel. You prepare very well your travel plans, and so when you will be negotiating, this is not a very good period of time too. Then on 17th of January, retrograding Mars is going into Gemini, and he's retrograding. And then on 24th of February, he is becoming direct. But the most interesting thing is where. So he is becoming direct in the 21st degrees of Gemini. This is the star Vega, the star of good people, angelic star. There is where he becomes visible, not visible, direct. I see this as a good thing. I see this as maybe involvement of new good people, good spirits in your work, in your communication, in your travel, in your study, knowledge. So this is very important. And then on 7th of April, he's back into Cancer, and this is the case until 8th of June. So until 8th of June, he's a little bit, in Cancer. Mars is not very happy. hard to predict. That's why I say be responsible for your health and be diplomatic with your partners in romantic but also business senses. Then we're already in June. On 14th of July, beautiful event, Mercury becomes visible. 14th of July in the 13 degree Gemini, and this is fine for your finances. Not so much supportive because Jupiter is, did I say Mercury? Not Jupiter, is not very powerful in Gemini, but still he will be supporting your finances. He will be squared by Saturn in Pisces, which would say that yes, financially he's supportive a little bit, but also it will say that you have to be very very structured, not impulsive when it comes to finances and financial decisions. On 12th of July, we have this very important Saturn Neptune both stationary conjunction in the 7th degree of Pisces. On this I will make special video. This is very important conjunction. 14 July, Neptune turns retrograde, and Pluto from Capricorn is creating aspect. So this is in sixth house. This is very important for you, for your study, for your knowledge, for your gains, new decisions, new direction, important new things for you. On 30 July, we have Virgo, Mars, which is your 5th house. Very good. This will be, you'll be driven to maybe to do creative study, maybe to to do some talented work as well. And then we have Neptune Saturn opposing Mars, and this is until 9th of August. This is timing of attention, to be careful, attentive with children in particular, to be also careful, especially with new projects, with creative activities, also with your connections and friendships. You may have some very interesting changes there. Also, some old friends will go, new will come, or you will see the true faces of people. It will be very interesting. On 25th of August, Mars is becoming invisible in the 20th degree Virgo. Very important, because Mars becomes invisible. This is your 5th house. Could be that some illusion, some knowledge you just leave, and Mars will take them away, or some old ways of making money, or it will be another level of change for you. Then Mars invisible already will enter your 7th house. Very powerful, very delicate. He will work on subtle, unpredictable levels. This is until 9th of December. Mars will be on your 7th house. Be careful with your partnerships, negotiations, business, and so during this time period, and be very diplomatic with your partner. Let me see what else I wanted to tell you, that I don't forget things. Some beautiful details about Venus. Yes, on 18th of April she will enter. She's important because she rules your Ascendant, your 11th house. This is good, but like I say, she's not alone. She's with Saturn, so she will not denote her pure energies of blessing, but it will be a little bit more complex. This will bring complexity in general for the period of 18 April to 1 June. Venus in Aries. There she will be very interesting. She can come up with totally different plans for your finances because she's with Saturn. You can have also expenditures, but new ways of making money, most probably. So on 30 June she's entering your Ascendant to be there until 4th of July. This is also quite powerful for you. And then she will make a conjunction, as you know, 4th of July I mentioned this. Then she will be making conjunction with Uranus on your Ascendant and sextile with Saturn and Neptune. This is big for your new plans, for maybe you can come up with totally different ideas for your work, for your business. It will be very, very interesting. And what is also interesting, on 3rd of November, Venus is entering Libra to support your health, to support maybe your career and work and so. A few words about the coming eclipses. On 15th of March, we have the lunar eclipse and also on 29th is the solar, and then on 7th September it is the lunar, and on 21st of September is the solar. All of them happen on the two axes. It is Pisces Virgo and Aquarius Leo. For you, this is axis of money and career. These are the areas which you undergo changes. Don't take this as something negative. No, sometimes we resist change because we don't know what is coming, and I believe that the new what will come will be good. But during the eclipse times, try 7 days before, 7 days after eclipse to be a little bit careful, especially if you have sun, moon, midheaven, you know, in on these axes. And for you, Aquarius, Leo could be axis of midheaven, lower meridian, could be, it's not always the case. Therefore, be a little bit careful, especially in your career place and home and so, because the eclipses are always portals for change. So wait until the eclipse energy is gone, and only after that undertake your new projects, ideas and everything. So of course, if you want to have very detailed analysis, you can have a reading with me, and as I mentioned in the introduction video, there is special reading option now for the year 2025, which will be very much in detail for you, and we'll be looking at your time cycles, primary directions, progressions, and basically everything. So all the best. I wish you great 2025. Be brave, be happy. All the best.